These 3 changes with very little effort needed are going to make a big impact in your advertising strategy. Hi, I'm Samantha Cunningham Zawilinski, and this week on Hard Facts, I want to give you 3 really actionable items that will make a big impact on your organic or your paid Facebook strategy. So let's get right into it. Very simply, when we're thinking about how we're putting our content together for our organic social media post or our paid advertisement, we need to keep a few things in mind. And one of them is how your post is going to appear on different device types. Now, for example, on a mobile device, the text within your post is only going to show the first 3 lines before it says, "See more," or "read more." And this is really important to consider because how are you going to grab and engage your audience to want to read more about what you're saying? So one way to do this is to utilize emojis through your content. Tell a story and use emojis to communicate the different emotions, the different story elements that you're telling as you lead them through that content. So that's number 1. Now let's talk about number 2 and number 3. Real easy tactics that are going to get you even more engagement. Number 1 is asking your audience to save this information for later. I don't know about you, but I belong to a number of different Facebook groups and I love seeing ads that really pertain to me. But sometimes I'm on the go, in the airport, or just not in the mindset to click a link at that moment, or even engage with a post further, but I know that it's important to me. So I'll save it for later. But what about if you know your content, your recipe, your blog post, whatever it may be, is going to resonate in a similar fashion? Encourage your audience to save this for later. It is a great way to create continued engagement on your post and encourage your audience to use you as a resource. And aside from that, tip number 3 is making sure you're putting links within the content of your post. So for example, if you are posting something organically, you're going to want to link customers over to different pieces of content on your website. But this same principle applies to even if you are running a paid advertisement. So sure, your video or your image or your carousel ad will have a link and call to action over to a desired piece of content, either on Facebook or on your website. But what about putting links throughout your content? This is actually something that POTRATZ has tested. We've tested our utilization of emojis as referenced earlier in this video, and we've also tested the utilization and inclusion of links throughout the content. So for example, if you're telling a story about a product or a service, depending on how your story relates to your products, you may be talking about different types of garments somebody could buy from your business, or the different processes behind buying a car. In this instance, you could drive them to different pieces of content on your website aside from just what that ad carousel equals. So maybe I'm saying, hey, this customer got pre-approved and then they said, oh my goodness, I want to value my trade and I really want to buy that brand new RAV4. These are all instances where you could link over to different pieces of content on your website. Same thing goes for if you're talking about a story about a wedding, for example. Maybe your ad talks about, hey, shop our wedding gowns or our bridesmaids dresses. Tell a story and link to each of those different pieces of content. So as you're thinking about posting your next organic or paid social media ad, think about these 3 tips and how you can integrate them into your strategy. And if you're interested in learning more about the POTRATZ case study that increased conversions by 28%, head over to potratzny.com and click Learn From Us. There you'll find not only the resource that talks about increasing Facebook conversions 28%, but you'll find lots of other resources that are all free to you. And that's it. That's this week's episode of Hard Facts. I'd love to hear if you have a tip that's helped you organically or in your paid advertising on social media. Comment below, send me a DM, or ask a question and I can cover it in an upcoming episode. That's it, and have a great day.